Welcome to the story of Film Tale Echoes. You find yourself trapped in a forest where escape is impossible. Night brings no rest, for unseen eyes watch your every move. Every night, you must entertain them, perform for them, because they are always there, silently observing. They are the watchers. Deep inside a dark forest, a man ran through twisted trees, panic written across his face. The sun dipped low, casting long shadows, and he stumbled upon a worn wooden sign, "Point of no return." Fear gripped him as he realized the warning was real. Birds scattered into the sky, and the ground trembled beneath him. In desperation, he climbed a tree to hide but slipped, falling hard. Before losing consciousness, unseen hands dragged him away, his screams fading into the night. 6 days later, in a quiet city, Mina lived a lonely life. She worked at a pet shop, and one day her boss asked her to deliver a parrot to the zoo. Taking the bird home for the night, she set off the next morning, but a wrong turn brought her into the same forest. Her car soon became useless on the twisting paths, forcing her to continue on foot. The forest grew darker, the birds scattered, and the ground shook. In the distance, she spotted an old woman running. Desperate for help, Mina chased her, only to be warned to follow quickly. The woman, Madeline, pulled her into a strange shelter and locked the door behind them. Inside, Mina saw a massive mirror and two strangers. Confused, she tried to understand her surroundings, but Madeline said little. She instructed Mina to stand in front of the mirror, warning that someone was watching them. The watchers. The night was filled with strange sounds, and Mina realized the watchers were unseen, observing silently. Morning brought a fragile safety. Madeline explained that the forest was dangerous at night, but the forest itself was impossible to escape. Anyone who ignored this became prey to its tricks, lost in madness. Despite warnings, Mina tried to find a way out, following the sun, and came upon the same "Point of no return" sign. The ground shook, forcing her to flee back to the shelter. Madeline comforted her and revealed the truth. She and the others had been trapped here, unable to escape. The forest pulled people in, played with their minds, and slowly destroyed their sanity. She showed Mina boards placed in a circle, all reading "Point of no return," created by a mysterious professor. Crossing these lines meant permanent entrapment. Night returned, and with it, the watchers. A girl named Kira danced in front of the mirror to entertain them, following the rules that kept them safe. Never turn your back to the mirror, never open the door at night, and never approach the hidden pits. During the day, they survived by hunting and gathering, always wary of the forest's dangers. Kira guided Mina through the forest, showing hidden pits where the watchers lurked during the day. She revealed that she and the others had been trapped for 6 months. Her husband had disappeared while searching for a way out. The same man from the beginning, now lost forever. Back at the shelter, Madeline repeated the rules. Night came, and Mina, curious, leaned too close to the mirror. Thinking the watchers had gone, she turned her back. The mirror shook violently, cracks forming as the watchers' anger raged. Only when she faced the mirror again did the forest calm, the threat lingering silently, always watching. The forest was alive, the watchers patient, and Mina understood she was now part of a place with no escape, where survival meant obeying rules she barely understood. The forest pulled, watched, and waited. And every night, it demanded attention, or else its prey would be lost forever. The night finally ended, and the next day Mina went hunting with Daniel. She refused to waste her life trapped in the forest. Determined to find a way out, she asked Daniel if he had ever actually seen a watcher. He admitted he hadn't, Mina shared her suspicion that everything Madeline said might be a story to keep them trapped. If they investigated the pits, they might discover a way out. Daniel, also desperate to escape, agreed. Mina tied a rope around herself and carefully lowered into one of the pits while Daniel held the other end. Inside, she found piles of human belongings, items left by those who had been trapped before. She gathered what she could, but before climbing out, she noticed strange, human-like fingers twitching in the darkness. Terrified, she scrambled back to the surface. Back at the shelter, they lied to Madeline, claiming they had found the items in the forest. But Madeline, experienced and wary, saw through them immediately. She demanded Mina tell the truth about the pit, but Mina stayed silent. Among the items, they had found a camera, which they set up like a CCTV outside the shelter, hoping to finally see the watchers. Madeline's warnings were ignored, and that night, something unusual happened. A knock on the door. The camera feed showed human legs. A voice called out. It sounded like Kira's husband. Excited, Kira rushed to open the door, but Madeline blocked her. She insisted this was not her husband. To test him, Kira asked a question only her husband would know, but the man outside remained silent. The truth was clear. It was a watcher, pretending. When the door remained closed, the watcher smashed the camera in anger. More watchers arrived, pounding against the mirror, threatening to break inside. The group quickly stood before the mirror, facing it, which calmed the creatures. Eventually, the attack stopped. Daniel and Mina confessed to Madeline that they had gone into the pit. Furious, she scolded them for breaking the rules and threw all the items back. Mina realized she had no choice but to remain trapped. Time passed, and winter arrived. They were still stuck in the forest, with hunger weakening their bodies and minds. Mina continued exploring, drawing a map, hoping one day to escape. One day, anger boiled over, and Daniel locked Madeline and Mina out of the safe house. As darkness fell, the women hid under a thick tree, terrified. The eerie sounds of the watchers filled the forest. For the first time, the audience glimpsed them, tall, thin, and terrifying. They emerged from the pits, searching for the humans. When they wandered away, Mina and Madeline seized the chance to rush back and pound on the door until Daniel let them in. Both women revealed that they had seen the watchers with their own eyes. Madeline confessed a shocking truth. She had never been trapped by accident. She had come looking for these creatures after reading about them in old books. Those books called them fairies, but in reality, they were monsters. Smart monsters that could copy humans. One had even taken Madeline's own appearance. Every night, they watched, learning how to act like humans. Before they could process her words, a knock rattled the door. The voices outside perfectly imitated them, begging to be let in. Fear gripped the group. If they opened the door, they would be finished. But the watchers were strong and could eventually break through. Daniel noticed something odd under a carpet. He pulled it back and discovered a hidden hatch. Beneath it lay a bunker. Without hesitation, they rushed inside and sealed the door. To their amazement, the bunker was fully equipped. It had enough food to last for years, along with beds, electricity, and supplies. Mina's curiosity grew, and she switched on a computer. There was no internet, but files were saved on it, hinting at secrets waiting to be uncovered. Through the files in the bunker, Mina and the others discovered the story of Dr. Martin. He had spent years studying the forest creatures, and his notes revealed a dark secret. He had lured humans into the forest for money, trapped them in a house above, and then hid in the bunker while the creatures devoured his victims. Martin's research uncovered the truth. These creatures were not monsters, but fairies. Long ago, they had lived among humans, but betrayal had driven them into the forests. Living underground for centuries caused them to lose their magic and feathers. Among the fairies, Martin had discovered one extraordinary being who could survive in daylight. She was gentle and never harmed him, so he kept her in the bunker. They learned from each other, but eventually, their bond broke. The computer held many video logs, each revealing pieces of Martin's research. Mina wanted to know the end of the story, so she played the final recording. Martin revealed that he had planned to end both his life and the fairies, but he left a message for anyone trapped in the forest. Following the direction in which the birds flew in the evening would lead to escape. He also warned that anyone who escaped should go to his university and destroy his research, for some secrets were too dangerous to be uncovered. Martin admitted that his dream of uniting humans and fairies had been a terrible mistake. That night, hope returned to Mina and the others. They left the bunker, only to find that the Watchers had destroyed their safe house. With the parrot guiding them, they pressed on toward freedom. They eventually reached a stream, their chance to escape. But evening had come, and the Watchers began emerging from their holes. As they prepared to leave in Martin's old boat, Daniel noticed his injured companion, John. Rushing to help, they discovered the horrifying truth: John was a fairy in disguise. Before their eyes, he transformed into Daniel's form and killed him, leaving a strange mark on his forehead. The rest of the group crossed the stream safely. The fairies could not follow, and they finally reached the city. At Martin's university, Mina prepared to fulfill his last wish and destroy the research. But as she explored, she uncovered another secret. Long ago, humans and fairies had lived together, even marrying and producing children known as hybrids. Astonishingly, she learned that Madeline, the woman from the forest, had been intended as Professor Martin's wife. The real Madeline had died years earlier, and the professor had tried to bring her back by reshaping a fairy to take her appearance. Mina went to Kira. As Mina pieced together the truth, she realized she was not speaking to Kira. The figure before her was Madeline in disguise. The real Kira had been knocked unconscious. Madeline attempted to attack Mina to protect her secret, revealing that she had always been different. Unlike the other fairies, she could survive in daylight, and because of this, she had been rejected and cast out. Mina's presence helped her accept the truth. She was special, a hybrid, half human and half fairy. This explained her ability to survive in both worlds and her escape from the forest. Accepting this, Madeline regained her feathers and magic, spread her wings, and disappeared into the sky, leaving Mina behind. Weeks later, Mina lived quietly with her sister, still haunted by the memories of the forest. She sensed that the fairy was still near. In the final scene, a mysterious girl stood outside her house. It was Madeline, now blending into the human world, living among them once more. The story ended, leaving the world of the forest and its watchers lingering in memory.